Hey everyone, this is Aiden, and today I'm making people question whether or not I like Monster Hunter or not, because this is my second video on Monster Hunter, and it's another negative one. Like, don't get me wrong, I love this series, but there are those monsters that I just cannot stand. So, yeah, I swear the next one will be positive. I swear. So, for rules, there are only two. One, only monsters I've fought, like only ones that appeared in the 3DS games, as those are the only ones I've played. Also, only regular monster will be dominant on this list, as in, if a subspecies is here, then I will lump them in with the regular one, but that's assuming I fought them in the first place. Now, here are my dishonorable mentions, ones that simply weren't bad enough to make this list, or I just don't agree with all the hate they get. So first, Nibblesnarf. A derpy monster that can be a little boring, but it's not unbearable, and its design isn't actually that bad. Cephadrome. A discount version of a monster who will be appearing later on this list, and I don't feel like putting it there, because, well, I honestly don't find it as bad. The Giganox. An infamously hated Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate monster that I personally had a great time fighting, and I personally don't agree with all the hate it gets. The Goble. Similar cases to the Giganox, even both of them start with G, and again, I don't agree with all the hate it gets. I actually like fighting this thing. Urigan. Steals attacks from the Volvodon, its rolling attack, the explosive attacks of Brachydios, and the attack of a certain other monster I'll get to later. Diablos. The monster infamous for going into rage mode way too much, and people say that makes it so you don't know when it's weak, failing to realize that is a sign of weakness. Number 10. Royal Ludroth. So, this monster is an interesting case, seeing as I only have one main problem with the fight, but that's a really big one. Its lack of move diversity. Like, it only has like 4 or 5 attacks, so it just spams the same ones over and over and over, like its roll attack or its tackle attack, at least when it's enraged, which just makes the fight needlessly repetitive. And it's not like that makes it harder either, it's just samey, if you know what I mean. And I can't really say anything about its underwater fight in 3 Ultimate, because, well, there's not really much to say. I mean, I kinda prefer it, kinda, maybe? I don't know. Also, its design is only okay. Like, it's not the worst I've seen, but it just looks like they took a Ludroth and strapped a spongy thing around its neck. So, it's not completely awful, but it's not good either. Number 9. The Basarios. So, do you like bouncing? Do you like having to get bounced off monsters' armor because you don't have Mind's Eye or high enough sharpness at that point in the game? Do you like having to just bounce off and wait for an animation to end while the monster can attack you? Well, hot dang, the Basarios is one of the best examples of this. So yeah, this is pretty much the entire reason why I don't like Basarios. I don't like bouncing, which is annoying. Though, I'll give it this. While it can be annoying to keep bouncing off its armor, since it's literally made of stone, it's quick, as it doesn't have all that much health. Its Adolfrum, on the other hand, is another case. Number 8. The Iodrome. Now, I could have put any of the small bird wyvern dromes on here as well. They're all just carbon copies of each other with 1 or 2 minor differences. But while I don't like the Velocidrome or Gendrome, the Iodrome, I feel, has the worst thing. Wasting my time, as it has a lot more health than the other two, meaning that it takes longer to kill. Like, the Velocidrome I could probably kill in 5 minutes, whereas this would probably take like 10 or something. Which, yeah, that's pretty much it. It has more health, meaning that just takes longer. I know it's the last of the drones, but good grief, do they literally need to give it that much health? And it's not even like that makes it harder in any way. It just makes the fight take longer, because it's still really easy. Also, unlike the other drones, its head is armored, so if you have a weapon that's not very sharp or dulls easily, and you're trying to attack it, good luck. Number 7. Okay, show of hands. Who here likes the Gypsy Rose? I do! Gypsy Rose loves me! Gypsy Rose are not capable of real love! Think, boy, think of your items. Okay, I'm sorry. I just had to. I love Hunchback, if you can tell. Anyway, the Gypsy Rose. One of the most infamous first-generation monsters. And that's not just because it's a clone of the Yin Cuckoo, i.e. they share almost the exact same attacks, but it's because it's a troll. Like, first off, see that crest on its head? It can blind you with it, or stun you when it flashes it. And it can do this in 2 ways, either do it like with a long animation when standing still, or after a beak peck attack. And speaking of that beak peck, it can use it to steal your items. And unlike Malinx's, there are no way of getting your items back. Jerk move, Gypsy Rose. So I hope you don't have any valuable items on you, otherwise you're not getting them back. Also, at its halfway point, it will just play dead, like a possum. Except, that's a surprise attack, and you can actually carve when doing so. At your own risk, sure. And when it's not the main targeted quest, it can be a nightmare to find out if it's dead or not. Also, the purple Gypsy Rose is pointless, as Gypsy Rose is already roughly purple, and its only change is that it adds G-rank poison to itself. Real creative, Capcom. It would be higher if its dual blades weren't so great. Number 6. The Gravios. So, here we have the Basarios' adult form. And just like the Basarios, you bounce off it every 5 seconds. Okay, only its tail and head, so it's not as bad in that front, but it's also a damage sponge that takes forever to kill, unless you break its stomach twice, which given its gas attacks, is really hard to do. And if you plan on attacking its head with, say, a hammer, because hammers are better against monsters with tough parts, well then you'll have to deal with a lava laser, of course, which not only hits like a truck, but also is next to impossible to block if you don't have the guard up skill, and also gives you Fire Blight. So not only will you have to find a source of water to roll in or roll 3 times, which is just a waste of stamina, but you'll also be taking a ton of damage, which will cause this thing to kill you almost instantly. And it also has a subspecies, just to rub salt in the wound, the Black Gravios, which uses lava lasers even more, and is somehow even bulkier, meaning fights with this thing are going to take even longer. I hate damage sponges. Like, Monster Hunter can take a long time already to fight a monster, but I don't have literally forever to fight a monster. And the Gravios is the personification of a damage sponge. Number 5. The Bulldrome. This thing slams its feet on the ground and charges at you. That's it. Those are literally its only 2 attacks, and they're the only ones it will ever use, especially its charge attack, which honestly, if you thought the Royal Ludroth was repetitive, you ain't seen nothing compared to this thing. And also, its design is really boring, like, it's just a bore, both literally and figuratively, though compared to a lot of the other monsters in the top 4, this one actually seems good. Number 4. It is I, Dr. Doofenshmirtz, bringing you my latest, greatest creation yet. It is a perfect fusion of the Yin Cuckoo and of the Rathian. After taking both of them and subjecting them to an episode of Will It Blend, out came this creation here. Behold, the Yin Garuda! Inator! Okay, bad Doofenshmirtz impressions aside, the Yin Garuda is one annoying monster, as it has the big peck attacks of the Yin Cuckoo. However, its ground peck attack has an unusually large hitbox, meaning that you're gonna get hit when it looks like you wouldn't, and not to mention, if you're in front of it, it can just automatically resort to its beak peck, or just automatically use a charge attack, with no telegraphs whatsoever, which untelegraphed attacks are really annoying. And not only does it have Rathian's annoying Fitness Gram Pacer Test attack, which also hits like a truck, but it also has her poisonous tail, but unlike Rathian, just one tail swipe from it will be enough to poison you, even though the original Rathian couldn't even do that. Oh, and let's not forget, if you cut off its tail, it can still poison you. Great. Lack of logic, everyone. Lack of logic. Number 3. The Conga Wah Wah. Just look at this. Do you see anything stupid looking about it? If you don't, let me spell it out. It is a farting, burping, pooping, fat, hippo-headed pink orangutan. Just what? Who came up with this? Who thought this was a good idea? And who thought it would be a good idea to put in a Monster Hunter game? Like, jeez. I mean, it getting different status ailments depending on what mushroom it eats is a decent idea, and I would like to see a return for another monster, but the way this thing does it by burping is just stupid! It's stupid! I mean, at least give its subspecies, the Emerald Conga Wah Wah over here, a little bit of credit. I mean, it doesn't look as stupid in green as it does in pink, but it's still stupid, given that it now has a super fart attack, which, yeah, farting, everyone! This is what they think we want! Farting! I know I'm getting a little worked up over this thing, but seriously, the Conga Wah Wah is stupid! Let's just move on already before I start to stink. Number 2. You all knew this one was coming. This here is one of the most hated monsters in all of Monster Hunter, who still strikes fear into the hearts of hunters everywhere. It's the one, the only, the Plesioth. Whew, boy. Now we're getting into the real bad stuff. Like, if you thought some monsters' hitboxes were broken, like, say, some monsters' hip checks, then you've seen nothing until you've seen the Plesioth's infamous hip check, where you can be on the other side of the monster, which it'll still hit you, or you can be under its tail, and its tail whip will still hit you. So, yeah, not only does its hitboxes make absolutely no sense, but the range on those attacks are really, really big. Also, can I just ask, why does it have a sleep bite? Like, why can its bite put you to sleep? Did it really need that? Oh, also, let's not forget that it stays in the water for so long unless you fish it out with a frog, or if you provoke it out with a sonic bomb. Just forget this fish. Number 1. I'm not even gonna bother pretending. You all know it's the Kizu. So, what can I say that I haven't already said about this white piece of garbage? Well, I could bring up its design again, but no, I've already done that. Oh wait, I've actually fought it in 4 Ultimate now, and in the Frozen Seaway Generations. So, I guess now I can talk about how it hangs from the ceiling, and how when it jumps down, it usually does that in a pretty awkward angle, making it pretty hard to predict. Oh, and let's not forget its absolute joke of a subspecies, which I have actually fought now. Not only does it look worse, but it barely adds anything new, though I can't deny I don't hate it as much, since it doesn't seem to spam that stupid electric field attack as much. Like, sorry if I'm not raging about it as much as I did with the previous 2 segments, but I'm sorry. I've said all I have to say about the Kizu. I mean, what else is there to add? I mean, its design sucks, its fight can be annoyingly repetitive because of how much it spams that stupid electric field attack, and really, that's really all there is to say. I mean, I devoted a whole top 5 to this thing, which kind of left me with not very much to talk about on this number 1 segment. But all you need to know right now is the Kizu is by far the worst monster in Monster Hunter. Bar none. End of story. Thanks for watching, everyone. Sorry for the delay. Just, school stuff because of the COVID-19 pandemic. But I am Aiden, the Superior Hyperior, and thank you all for watching.